This week, a new poll came out that, like every other poll for the last few months, has had some really bad news for Donald Trump. And that bad news from this new Harvard poll is that 57% of people in this country fully 100% would blame Donald Trump if a recession hits by the end of the year, which at this point is a very real possibility. They would blame Donald Trump before they would blame the Federal Reserve. And as we all know, Donald Trump right now is actually trying to blame the Federal Reserve. Oh, it's their fault for not cutting interest rates, even though most people have no idea what any of that means. But it's their fault. I don't even know what it means, probably is what Trump is thinking, but he says it because he needs somebody to blame because he knows this is his economy and he is destroying it. More bad news in the poll. 63% believe the tariffs are hurting the U.S. more than they're hurting China, and 74% said U.S. consumers, not China, are the ones who are paying the cost of the tariffs, which is correct. That number shouldn't be 74%, it should be 100%, but, that's something we have to deal with in the education system. Here's a number that's actually kind of good for the president. There's a 50-50 split on people who approve and disapprove of the tariffs. So even though a majority of them say, yeah, we're losing the trade war, and yes, we're paying the costs, half of them still say yeah, but this is a good thing. Eesh. That's a problem, folks. I don't know. I don't want to insult you. I feel like I kind of need to insult you though, because that's stupid. If you say this is bad, we're getting screwed, I'm losing money, but I like it. Yikes, what kind of, crazy masochist are you to enjoy this kind of punishment from the President of the United States? But here's the thing, folks. All in all, these polls, again, they're correct, technically. And Donald Trump's actions, specifically with the trade war, the tax cuts for the top 1% that has grown the income gap here in the United States, those have exacerbated the situation to push us closer towards a recession. But they are not the cause of the recession. And that's the thing that we always have to separate. Trump has made it get here sooner, but he didn't create that destination. That destination was created over the last 40 years of bad corporate-friendly policy. We've destroyed unions, thereby destroying the middle class. Wages have been stagnant. They've grown by 2 some odd dollars adjusted for inflation since 1964. People don't have enough money. We're more reliant on bank lending. The inverted yield curve tells us that banks are kind of pulling back on the lending as much. And since we don't have any savings, we don't have money to put down on homes, so we have to borrow less, making it more likely you'd get a loan. We can't do that. We have to borrow more, which makes it more risky for the bank, which makes them less likely to do it. Do you see where I'm going with this? All we had to do was put more money in the middle. Put more money to the people who spend the money. And we could have at least avoided the severity of the recessions that we have had over the last 40 years. But instead, we're concentrating all the wealth at the top, while those 99% below it, it's drying up. That's why we're barreling towards a recession today. And yes, Trump made it get here sooner. But to be perfectly honest, he is not the reason the recession is coming. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.